Traders, July 19, 2018. This is Zelman here, also known as the Trading Teacher. You can follow me on Twitter at Trading Teacher. Today we're going to talk about BIOAQ, ticker symbol BIOAQ, Firefish, also known as GIFA, ticker symbol GIFA, ticker symbol FUSZ, FUSZ, and CELZ, CELZ. The reason why I'm talking about these four is just because I have a lot of individuals that's either in this position or trying to get it. So let's start with BIOAQ, ticker symbol BIOAQ. Let me just move back. This is a daily chart. Remember in my previous recording, which was yesterday, I explained the resistance levels about this trend line right here, this downward trend line. And as you can see, there was news today on BIOAQ. And what happened was it surged right here. Remember that X marks the spot? If there was no news, my opinion, it would deteriorate and probably drop. But the news came out at the right time. I was a little iffy, but it's still below this uptrend. Remember I told you it broke this uptrend, which the uptrend from support became into resistance, and that's where we're at right now. BIOAQ closed at about 6 cents. It does look strong, however, we do see it battling resistance. And anyone who's following me and follow my post on BIOAQ this morning, when I said, hey, if you guys believe in this, it has to break through this uptrend channel to stay alive. However, what you actually wanted to do, I mean, it would be great for it to break that uptrend. But if it can break above this downtrend tomorrow, see this downtrend right here? My honest belief would be this downtrend will confirm support. Now, will it go higher? Will it explode from there? It's a great possibility considering the fact if it goes back above this uptrend. But once it breaks above this downtrend right here, which it's just 80 bits away from right now as far as the current price per share. If it can break there and can close there or can even open up at that level, the longs in BIOAQ looks like they're in great shape. And if this does happen, you guys can look at a new high, not an all-time high, but you can look at a new high and possibly even get something as possibly high as 15 cents per share. Now, remember, this doesn't happen overnight. But this is the expectations of a trader if the trend behaves the way it should, if it follows through with these trend lines. So what we want to do, it actually broke below this uptrend, which gave it a form of resistance. And as you can see, with the great news, it surged up. However, once it got into that resistance level, you saw profit taking, and then there's a pretty much tug of war action at around 6 cents plus or minus a couple of tenths of a penny here and there. But you know, it's still early to see where it wants to go. Just be aware that it's at resistance and you guys want it to break through at least the downtrend right here, this downtrend line. If it could break through here and stay above that, it's healthy for it. It's showing that it's progressing further up. And that's what we want for all the longs in BIOAQ. Now, let me just take a look at the 10-minute. We'll do the hourly, the 10-minute, so on and so forth. See, if you take a look at the hourly right now, looks healthy. It does look healthy on the hourly standpoint. And let me just add the MAC study. But it does look healthy on the hourly standpoint. And you can actually see that it's trying. It looks like a little miniature bull flag over here. It's trying to break above that resistance level. Let's take a look at a 10-minute, pretty much stating the same picture at a shorter time frame. And the 1 minute for pretty much the day traders, same exact picture. All right, so I want to give a little word of caution out just because it's at resistance. However, if it breaks through that resistance, buyers who are already long, it's looking great for you. We won't know until tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the tail of the tape for BIOAQ. So sit tight because July 20th is tomorrow, and hopefully it goes further upwards and it can accumulate into a newer high than its previous high, I believe, at 7, maybe 7.5 cents. Let me just double check that. Yeah, about 7.5 cents. It's still a little 7 1/3 or something like that. All right, so now let me back out and let's talk about Firefish, FRFS, which everyone knows GIFA. As you can see, remember we made the same comments with Firefish as we did with BIOAQ. I gave you an example in the previous video of what these trend lines actually mean, and as you can see, it's trading above the uptrend and it's still doing well. But like I stated on my video yesterday for GIFA, well, Firefish, excuse me, GIFA Inc. has a certain amount of time to provide these documents. It's only a matter of time where traders and market makers are eventually going to give up because, in their opinion, it's taking longer than it should. However, the tail of the tape still looks good. It's still a hold. It's trading above the uptrend line. It broke the downtrend line and confirming support. All of this, you see that X mark? See, confirmed it. Still in the uptrend. It might be trading choppy and sideways, but it still looks healthy. And that's the only thing that matters as of right now until the news is released from GIFA. All right. Now let's talk about FUSZ. I know we have a lot of fusers over here that is currently interested in what's going to do. Based on yesterday's video, it does look like it's going higher. We saw that bottom at 50 cents. What I want to do is just trail back a little bit and just show you what it did on the hourly chart. You can see, actually, you know what, let me go on the 10-minute chart. I could read it a little bit better. As you see on the 10-minute chart, on the 19th, what happened was we had this bull flag approaching. And at the open, it cracked, right? And people traders were like, well, it's still at above support, and it held. You know, it seems like since there's resistance at around 78, you know, there's sellers right here, 78. There are sellers who are trying to push this down to continue some selling pressure, or, you know, maybe consolidating for another 2 weeks, maybe a month or so before it continues higher. But the buyers weren't having any of it, and you can see there's a huge tug of war from today's low to today's high. You see support level over here. There's a higher support level. It just looks like there's a higher one prior to the close at roughly 230. And it's just within time, I honestly believe you guys are going to see $1 and change coming. Just a matter of time. Just be patient, in my opinion. I hope the people who are in this position, you know, I know a lot of them got in at much higher prices than other individuals. You know, patience. It's not worth getting out at these levels. I understand that you're down maybe 50%, 70%, whatever the case may be. But if you had extra cash on the side, you know, you could double down on it, bring your cost average per share lower. But, you know, like, you have to consider you don't want to do that without having no money in your account to pay your bills. If you have that extra cash and you need to average down your shares, by all means, I think this is a great price to do it at. But at the same time, make sure you have cash at hand to do it, and do not get rid of or remove money that pays your monthly expenses and your bills to live, okay? Now let's go to CELZ. You know, everybody loves CELZ. You know, these 4 stocks is just insane with everyone that's watching them. News came out providing, I guess they're now marketing to Russia for dysfunction of a gentleman's private parts. Supposedly Russia has the largest percentage population of men with that issue. So it looks like it's a huge market for them. You know what? I honestly think China will be even a larger market, considering there's more men than women in that country. But let's talk about CELZ instead of talking about what will do well for CELZ. Let's take a look at the chart. Let me just back it up. This is a 10-minute. Let's take a look at what the daily is doing. Okay, so remember there was resistance at 7. They confirmed new resistance at around 6.5. Look like there's some support here. News came out, gapped up, traded as high as like 5.5, maybe 5.056, 0.057 at its highest. Then resistance came back in, and it seems like a double confirmation with resistance over here, and trying to bring her down to either fill her gap or close her gap. If she fills her gap, that's healthy. That's actually when it goes down to around the price of where the market closed yesterday, and just trails right back up from there. If it closes the gap, it actually closes underneath this bar. I'm not going to say it's not healthy, but that's not something we want. Obviously we're going to have to reassess the trade if that does happen. But let's take a look. There's a lot of gibberish here. Let me clean this up. There's too many trends lines that I'm getting confused right now. So bear with me. Clear drawings. All right, great. All right, so let's do some drawings right now. Do it with you guys. Bear with me, and here's a line. Let me just back up. Let me see what this looks like. That's the first trend line. That's where you look for a support if it did crack. I say this is resistance right here. Okay, now let's go with support. Got some horizontals. Now let's do some horizontal support levels. This is one of them. This is the second one. This is the third one. I think that's good enough. There's one more, but I don't think we need it, but I'll do it just to make you guys happy. There you go. So these are all the support lines, and as you can see, there's different levels of support. Resistance starts out here. This is true support right here, but there can be bottoms along the way with support confirmation. So this is I would say it's low support moving forward from July 11th moving forward to the present day. Another support was confirmed right here on July 12th. Another support was confirmed here on July 13th. Went up. It looked like we had support here, but then we had this resistance come in play at 6.5. Cracked this support down here. Try to form a bullish engulfing pattern. That didn't happen. A bullish engulfing candlestick. That didn't happen, and trailed the right back down, but confirmed this level as support, gapped up. So that gap is support. The bottom of the gap is support. So we have 1, 2, 3 levels of support literally within today and yesterday's trading range. It also looks like we have somewhat of a reversal. Looks like a Fugazi reversal. You see shoulder here, a head here, shoulder here. However, I say it's Fugazi because I like to see both shoulders around the same length, or the left shoulder at a lower, have a lower shoulder than the right shoulder. I prefer the right shoulder to be higher. Obviously, it's the opposite. I'm not too fond of that. Usually, it's not good enough for me as a trader. Okay, now let me just get out of the 60-minute and let's zoom in on the let's do the 10-minute now. We do see resistance over here. We see the top. It looks like it wants to fill the gap. I didn't create a new low after this low. This is actually right above it. But the MAC histogram, if you notice, it's creeping up negative and it's getting more negative and negative. What scares me is we saw that 6.5 resistance come into play after the 7 resistance. Then we have that 6.5 resistance come into play. And after today's news, it gapped up. It surged to like 0.057, 0.058. And then what happened was it created resistance right away. And the traders on the long side was trying to push it up all day, but the sellers just seems like it was a tug of war battle. It seems like the sellers got the better end of it at the end of the day. As you can see, it was pretty much closed at the lows of the day. It's very hard to determine what it's going to do as of right now. It does look like it's in a trading range. It also looks like it's going to fill this gap, maybe close this gap. I still see resistance. In my opinion, I believe the resistance is stronger than support right now. Time will tell. I honestly believe anyone who's in this position should have a stop order. There's a lot of support levels. My honest opinion, if I was in this position, but I'm not, I got out earlier this morning after the news. I'm just skeptical with the 6.5s. But if I was in this position, I was still playing this, and I wanted to get out, I will let it trade this gap, even though I think it's going to close this gap. So I would put my stop order at, I would say, 4 cents flat around here, maybe here, right underneath this. I wouldn't give any more risk. I would like to capture my profits. People look for the world, and I understand, but you're trading OTC, pinks and over-the-counter bulletin boards. 1 out of every, I don't know, million or 2 million will go from a penny to maybe 50 cents a dollar. 99, well, not 99, I would say good 95% to 99% of OTC BB pink sheet stocks eventually go bankrupt. So that's something to consider. If you're in the money, learn how to execute and profit. There's always other things out there, but it's in the trading range. So be smart about your money. I do see this reversal. You see this the shoulder, head, shoulder. But like I said, I prefer, if this was a little higher, I would be happy. But it's in the trading range. I don't want you guys to be scared and like, oh, it's going to collapse tomorrow. No, chances are it will trade maybe within this range, maybe to 4 cents, and then trail up, play around back and forth until it's ready to explode over 6.5. I just really don't know. I see resistance, and when I see more than one form of resistance at the top, and there's lower levels of resistance in the previous resistance levels, I like to cash out and take my profit. That's how I trade. I hope everybody who's in this position goes their way and they make money. That's the goal of trading. That's the goal of actually investing in the market, is to make money. So good luck to all of you. I actually provided charts for all, technical charting patterns and indicators for all 4 symbols for BIOAQ, FRFS, FUSZ, and CELZ. Once again, if you want to take one of my courses, my first course starts out in September of 2018. Feel free to direct message me or contact me directly on any of my posts. If I do not respond, chances are I'm kind of busy, or I had a lot of people respond to that post and I'm just getting a little busy. So definitely direct message me, and I will tell you the exact date and any other questions and information that you need if you're willing to take the course coming up in September. Once again, my name is Zelman. My Twitter handle is @TradingTeacher. Follow me if you like this video, and if you want to actually see more videos to come in the near future. Take care, and good luck trading tomorrow, July 20th, 2018.